So who would like to recap the previous session?
I can give some of it. I don't know that I have all the details in my head anymore, but we were in a hole making our way to the walls of this pit that we're in. Everything was pretty much pitch black. Ivar flew up because we saw an opening, but it was 80 feet up along the wall. As he went up there, a ghost flew out, screamed, and flew right through him. He went into the cave and went down the corridor a bit. I don't remember how long it was. It was just like 30 feet, but that distance may have changed. He found a place where he thought he might be able to attach a grappling hook so everybody else could climb up. He also found a pillar in a room that was surrounded by a force shield, and there was treasure all around the pillar. But he has no way to get through a force shield, so he figured either we would deal with it later or we'd just leave the treasure behind, since the first priority was getting out anyway. He then went back to where everybody was and explained that much of it. He then remembered that he had the green grung hair dye that could turn everybody's hairs, hands, and feet green and allow them to spider climb and use the jump spell for a week before it wears off. He, at some point, may have remembered that there was a side effect, but Tacitus then started going forward and wound up falling into a pit of water that we didn't see. And then the pit of water began to suck him into a pit inside of the pit, inside of the pit that we were already in.
Yeah.
Komar then thunderstepped his way out of that. We eventually, while we were still basically by that pit, there was a bunch of will-o'-the-wisps that came to attack us. But Komar apparently is the wisp whisperer because he made friends of all out of them. We then made our way to the wall and started to climb up. But Petrie fell into yet another pit and then had a stalactite break off from the ceiling and fall on top of him, impaling his leg. And I think causing a compound fracture.
So actually, he fell onto the stalagmite, and a bunch of rocks and boulders then fell on top of him after that.
I see.
He then began to play dead, as he often does, where he takes massive amounts of damage.
That's right. And Ivar briefly thought, well, there's nothing we can do. We'll have to come back for you, Petrie. That's what I remember, at least, of the session.
I think you got it. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are, after the dust clears and settles, you look down and you see another pit. This is so Petrie has fallen about 60 feet down. There are stalagmites covering the floor where he is, and it also seems like you don't really walls. Like Petrie can see the walls, and from Petrie's perspective, you know, if he has maintained his consciousness and isn't playing dead, it's like actually a room, and there's like a hole in the ceiling in this room, and the stalagmites are just there. But it seems like, you know, it's kind of like this other kind of semi-spherical room that then going up. And there are rocks and boulders all over around where Petrie is. You know, he managed to avoid much of those falling directly on him, but at least one arm is currently pinned under a pretty sizable group of rocks and dirt. Petrie doesn't seem to be bleeding too profusely from what you guys can see, but that stalagmite might just be doing a pretty good job of sealing up the wound for now. Yeah.
But there is a chance of permanent disfigurement, correct?
Of course there is.
Absolutely. And his sword is shining just as brightly as ever.
So we start with Petrie in a pit through a hole in a pit. Okay.
And how far down is he?
60 feet.
60 feet.
Petrie, stop clowning around and get back up here.
Help! I might be dead.
Not yet, anyways.
Well, what am I gonna do? And I'm like trying to push the boulders off my arm, but they're too heavy.
Well, you can give me a strength check if you want.
Oh yeah, muscly Petrie. Let's give it a go.
You're at disadvantage though because of your pinned position. You can't get great leverage.
It's a disadvantage. Ooh, that's a not natural one.
Okay. So yeah, your arm is pretty well pinned.
So how wide is this pit?
So the actual like area where he fell into the floor is probably about it's the width of the tunnel, so about 10 feet, and then it's about another 5 feet, 5 to 7 feet across, or so. And then that kind of goes down tunnel-like for a bit, but then the edges disappear about 10 feet down. So it's not like a just a chimney kind of thing where you see the walls. So the walls begin to bow out.
And I don't know how long it's been since I originally cast it, but I did make Ivar invisible.
How long does that last? A minute or an hour?
10.
10
10
minutes?
minutes, I believe.
10 minutes. Okay. Here, I'm gonna draw a picture so that you guys can
Sorry,
have
it
a
is an
good
hour.
idea of
It is an hour.
what it looks like.
Does Petrie have the spider climb and the jump?
Yeah.
But he's just
Yeah.
pinned. That's the issue.
He's got a bum leg.
Yeah, I'm sort of impaled, guys.
All right, so this is roughly what it kind of looks like. So you guys are up there at the top. Petrie's down there in the spikes.
Well, I mean, we can just spider climb down and pull him out. I don't think
Who's
the
gonna
time
do
on
it?
that has ran out yet. So, yeah, fine, I'll do it.
Probably should have sent Elmon. There might be another pit down here.
Well, if anybody should be, well, I would say it should be Ivar, but your sword makes it a little difficult for him to fly down there.
That's why I'm not flying down there. I know I would just fall 60 feet onto spikes.
Plus, not only that, not only is Ivar known, but he's currently got 3 strength, so he's not moving Petrie anywhere.
Right.
We gotta fix that shit, man.
Are you disadvantaged climbing down?
Who?
No.
So if you use a
Passive.
spider climb, if you use a spider climb, it won't be that difficult to climb down. But just because of the angles of the floor and everything, it's going to be a little disorienting because you're kind of almost upside down at some point as you're following the curvature of the wall, and then this is a little awkward.
So
Just
I'm
gonna-
walking upside down. It's no big deal.
Just follow the voice of Petrie's screams, and we should find him.
I mean, it looks like he's lighting the place up down there. So And then, yeah, just confirming the spider climb also lasts for an hour normally, so I shouldn't take any more acid damage just to walk down there.
Yeah, you should be good.
I'll still be cautious, of course, so I'll keep an eye out, make sure there's nothing else down there.
So, as
Debilitating
you
traps
proceed,
are usually keen places for creatures to get their food, so be on your guard down there, yeah?
Yeah, I'll not move.
Just try your best not to suck so much. Come on.
so
Start walking down.
So you get down there, and as you get down there, Petrie is not in really any position to see around the room because he's got the rocks around him and the stalagmites. But you can see that at the edge where the floor and the wall meet, the entire room seems to be have just a shit ton of skulls just lining the entire circumference.
Sure. Why wouldn't
many of them appear to be humanoid. Some of them there's at least one giant within them, so it's like the size of Tacitus. It's as big as Tacitus is tall.
Hmm.
What are you looking at? I'm stuck.
Are you sure?
Yeah. And I like wiggle my arm a little bit. And I go, ooh, that stings.
If like, how big is the boulder that's on his arm?
Well, it's not just one boulder. I mean, it's a couple of decently sized rocks, and then combined with like smaller gravel. So, I mean, you could probably dig it out, and
I mean,
with
I'm
effort, you'd be able to move them aside.
I'm not about that digging business. I got spells like mold earth. Just like mold a hole around his arm so you can just pull it out.
Okay. So you do that. Petrie's arm is free.
There's no so like I'd like to clarify that since I almost fell in that other fucking hole and he just fell in this one. Like I got my quarterstaff. I'm tapping in front of me.
Okay.
Make sure there are no other illusory holes.
Give you investigation.
17.
So as far as you can see, everything that you're tapping is fairly solid. But you notice something very interesting about these stalagmites.
Their teeth.
They're not teeth, but they are definitely not naturally formed. Much like all of the other architecture that you can seem to see, and based on Colmar's description, because I think Colmar also did some investigation with some of the stonework. These are definitely engineered to look like this because they are incredibly fine and incredibly sharp, but they are still solidly stone and seamlessly grown out of the floor, it seems. Which is why with Petrie, his leg was so cleanly pierced through his armor, and he's still on the floor because normally a stalagmite would widen to the point where his leg.
Oh no.
What happened to my leg?
Oh, no. We lost it. We lost the leg.
Sorry.
There we go.
I'm on my wired connection too, so I don't know why it's doing that. anyways, I was saying that most stalagmites would widen to the point where, the leg would either like explode apart if there was enough force forcing it down, or it just wouldn't go down to a certain point. But these stalagmites seem to be of a circumference where it's purposefully made for this to trap, and it's also because there are so many so closely spaced together. It's just pure luck that Petrie wasn't pierced by any of the others.
So, yeah, my arm's free, but my leg's stuck. You want to do some of that juju on me?
I'm gonna exercise my my field surgeon skills here. I'm gonna
Don't amputate.
how thick are we talking here with this stalagmite? Like removing his leg, is it going to open up and make him fucking bleed out?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's wide enough that it shattered his femur. So it's probably like 3 to 4 inches in diameter.
What are you looking at? What's happening?
Well, so I'm gonna need somebody who can heal come down here, or you can heal. Can't you?
Yeah, I
Well,
can heal.
you're gonna need to heal yourself
Like right now?
now, and once we get your leg off this thing, because as soon as we take your leg off, it's gonna start bleeding out heavily.
You're taking my leg off.
Uh
I can't grow legs back yet.
Hold on, guys. You guys keep freezing and I keep freezing. I'm gonna try something to try and fix that.
Yeah, it's just you. It's nobody else froze for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully that'll help stabilize my connection. We'll see.
Yeah. So
So,
whenever I don't know, sort of out of game. I don't know what your health is like. So if I take your leg off, you're probably going to take some damage right away. It might knock you out.
well,
So
as far as I know,
I
you're the only one that can heal.
I also need to point out these stalagmites are about 6 feet tall.
I'm not concerned about that.
Okay. I'm just saying.
so
They are still stone, right?
They are.
Cool. I can work with that.
so how do I get out of here with one leg?
You got to get yourself in a healthy state. I'm gonna reduce these stalagmites, which should allow us to pull your leg off the stalagmite. You'll begin to bleed heavily. Heal again.
Oh, so you're not cutting my leg off?
No,
Oh,
I never said that I was.
Oh, that's good.
I also lack the tools to do that. I mean, I got a dagger, but
I got a hot sword, but you hear that from me.
Petrie, give me a medicine check.
Secret roll 21.
All right. I had a bit of information that I'm about to send to you.
Just wait, I'm thinking.
Brendan's going to have amputees in both games.
Yeah, seems like it.
So Colmar, assuming they don't cut off the leg and it merely just goes all necrotic because they left it attached, but it's not getting any blood, could you just animate the leg?
Um,
Well, his whole thing's about blood. If it's not getting blood,
That's very
So
interesting.
Brennan, I
think we
sent
could do
you
something.
the message.
so about the leg, right?
Yeah. Okay. I can close the wound, which is pretty useful. But I'm probably gonna have a busted leg for a long time, and I most likely will still get infection. But that's
Aren't you a paladin or something?
I'm a wannabe paladin. I'm level 2 paladin.
You need to work on that. Get yourself your immunities, man.
Yeah.
Pretty sure level 2 paladin should be able to cure a disease if your leg gets infected.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. So we're gonna get rid of this stalagmite, right?
Unless you got a better idea. And carry it around
Brian,
with you.
I sent you another piece of information.
I mean, I could try and break it off to where the thing just stays there for a little bit so we can get to a better place.
Well, I'm thinking.
Take your time, I guess.
Tacitus, since you're using your knowledge of field medic, give me a medicine check.
Oh, I already rolled one of those. I got a 19.
All right, so you would probably guess that the best possible course of action, given the way the wound is,
Pillow over the face. Pillow over the face.
Take the sword.
you would not want to remove his leg from the stalagmite. If you could keep it closed, that is going to be your best bet in terms of managing blood loss and also making as much as possible his leg to be at least somewhat functional despite the broken femur. I mean, he's not going to be able to really move the leg or put weight on it, but he'll be able to do so better than if it were taken out.
Mm.
And then you also know that you're going to need to figure out some way of splinting it.
With
Well,
a
it's a
spike
good thing.
going right through it.
I mean, there's a lot of straight stalagmites right here. We split it with this. What sort of equipment do you happen to have? You have a hammer or something? Ivar, you're one of those crafty folk. Do you have a hammer? And perhaps a chisel?
I don't know about a chisel. I don't know if
As you're calling up, there's a really cool echo going through the chamber, calling up to Ivar.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm gonna use my mind link. And I will telepathically speak up there. In your mind, you ask me, right? You have a hammer or something and a chisel. You can respond to this.
Actually, yeah, I remember now. I did have a chisel from when we were chipping the glass crystal rain off of it. So, I will drop down a hammer and chisel.
Ow!
Try and catch it before it hits. Getting impaled by a fucking chisel. Oh man.
I would reach like around the lip to try to not hit you.
Give me an attack roll.
Did you say reach around?
Yes, I
We're
did.
gonna do a reverse attack roll.
Okay, well, I rolled a 2. I don't know what I add to that.
You want to miss, right?
So, Petrie, the chisel somehow finds a way right between the plates of your armor to embed itself in the shoulder.
I don't get a chance to try and catch it. Come on.
I play dead
okay,
again.
okay. give me athletics check to try and catch it.
Athletics.
Action point.
Action.
Is it worth an action point?
Oof. Oh, that's unfortunate. I got a 9.
No.
Yeah, so
I get a +6, but
You deflect it
take-
and it lands in the wound.
just further widens it.
No, but it does find a way in between the plates of your shoulder, and it pierces you, and you take 3 additional piercing damage. And it's just kind of stuck there.
All right, here comes the hammer. I'll throw the hammer down.
God damn it!
This time I got a 19.
Wait, for what? I didn't hear what you got. I was frozen again.
I said, all right, here comes the hammer. And I threw the hammer down.
All right, with the 19, then you avoid everything, and you know.
Ow!
It's
Son of a
casted this
bitch.
Can you take this chisel out of me? Actually, I got it.
Alrighty.
So the wound is fairly superficial. There's a small trickle of blood, but not much.
Not enough weight
Dying.
behind that.
I'm dying, guys.
You still might want to, heal yourself if you haven't
Okay.
done so, but
All right.
you
Alright.
look pretty rough. This is probably going to rattle you a little bit as I attempt to break away and chisel at the stone here.
All right. So I'm gonna do channel divinity, preserve life, and get myself to half. So it's what is it? 5 with it restored 5 times my cleric level, which is 8, so 40. Is that right? Yeah. So 40. Add 40 to that. I'm at 57, which is a little too high. So I'm at 100. So I'm at 54.
52 is
Oh,
half
52.
half your
Yeah,
health.
52
Yeah.
half. Yeah. 104. Yeah. Okay. So bust out a channel divinity. All right, let's see what happens now.
Alrighty, I'm gonna attempt to chisel away. Keep it, kind of close to his leg, so he's not got something fucking massive sticking out of his leg to get caught on everything. But
I also, so while he's doing this, I have lay on hands ready to just bust out.
now is not the time to be scratching at your crotch, man.
I'll try.
Do you have any skill with stoneworking?
Me?
Any potentially relevant proficiencies?
Yeah, wizard.
Yeah, my studied mind. No, tools I have is dragon chests and land vehicles.
Hmm.
Hey, Ivar, you might want to do this.
Can I answer back?
Yeah.
Then I actually don't have any. I'm good with mechanical objects, like locks and little toys.
Mm.
Not with rocks.
Mm. Okay. Well, I'll just be careful.
Damn it, he's freezing. Before we get into Tacitus attempting to do this, Colmar, what's going on for you right now?
Just watching. I guess we can see this 60 feet, right? Or no?
Yeah,
The lights down there, so
yeah. There's a light.
Secretly hoping that the leg goes necrotic, and then I can maybe reanimate it, or just maybe amputate it and put something else on. That would be a lot more interesting.
Okay. All right, Tacitus. This is going to be just a straight strength check. No proficiency bonus.
To chisel at something?
Yeah.
Hey, at least some dexterity.
Well, okay, so actually with chiseling,
No, it's
dexterity
not.
might be more appropriate. Yeah.
Damn it.
Because you have to choose the spot and you're trying it's not so much the strength, it's the gentle movements to try and get so yeah, dexterity is the more appropriate.
This old man's gonna kill me.
This is where that knowledge domain cleric could be handy, I think. Make sure I got nothing that can help me here. Ice knife probably won't do it.
Can I ask you why you're not using mold earth to help?
I mean, I just wasn't sure if it would really help because it's not a permanent effect. So
As long as you get
I
to
might be
every
able
hour.
if I could do mold earth to like make it small, and then I could just tick one little shot.
But if you made it small, it would open the hole.
No. So so his leg is sticking out, right? So like up here, narrow this bit, and then just chisel away at that. Just like one or two, and then it should just topple over.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Kind of like a
And probably do the same thing with the
lower
bit
half.
under.
Yeah. This is like a lumberjack, just chisel away at one side of it and just topples right over. Except I don't have to chisel. Like I don't imagine being able to just completely sever the block from the top. So just make it as easy as possible.
Okay. So you can. It's still going to be dexterity, but you can add your proficiency and you can roll with advantage.
Well, I just. Wow. That's interesting. I got a natural 1 and a natural 20.
That is awesome. All right, so go ahead and describe how it happens and what the effect is.
I like to think that really it wasn't my dexterity, it was my cunning intelligence. I was like, I bet I can make like a cool little resonance frequency if I do both sides. If I narrow both sides and I just hit one side, it'll just snap on both.
All right.
It's like Petrie, watch this. This is gonna be really cool. It's probably gonna hurt, but it's fine. It's gonna be really cool. It's like one little tap and it's done.
Oh shit.
So Petrie,
push over the stalagmite so it doesn't fucking fall.
Yeah. So that's not the problem. But with your leg being free now, it also falls the ground. because it was propped up a little bit, and especially now that a lot of your adrenaline has been used up, it is absolutely the most painful experience you can ever recall.
And you just fell down this fucking hole.
And you used to routinely stab yourself with a sword.
I just play dead. And I'm like, and I've got this really I'm taking a big dump face. Like,
Yeah. Heal yourself and let's get moving. Let's get the hell out of this damn place.
so do I lose any health? And
You did not lose any health from that attempt.
that was very painful. Didn't take any
Yeah.
psychic damage.
Just
or anything?
really, really painful.
Well, I'm gonna give myself the lay on hands, so pump it up another 10. And then I refuse to stand. I'm like,
Well, you couldn't really stand even if you wanted to at this
I
point.
can't stand.
Well, he still has most of the spike coming out of his leg, right? Or did?
Yeah, it's still in there, and combined with his healing, I mean, the bleeding is, you don't need to worry about the bleeding necessarily at this point. But he does still have a shattered femur, and he has this large stone embedded in his thigh.
And take the top part. I don't know, how tall was it?
6 feet. So probably about 4.5 feet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do now that we have less risk at it. I'm gonna just mold earth again to like make a short bit at the top, I guess, and just kind of snap it off so I can tie it off onto his leg to keep it straight.
Okay.
Splint. Yeah.
It is pretty heavy. So while it is a sturdy splint, it's also, you're talking like 20, 30 pounds of stone.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I can't move.
I can help him walk. We both still have fire claims, so ease our way up the wall. Slowly. I guess since we're moving slowly, I'm gonna glance down and see if there's any sign of the cause of death for some of the whatever these bones are.
Give me an investigation check.
Mm. 11.
Not that you can see. No obvious things that would indicate any cause of death.
Yeah. Clearly, they just fell down and crawled away to the side.
Well, it's just the skulls. There's no other bones.
Clearly, they just
and they're all seem to be purposely placed where they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's get moving, huh? Perhaps once we get up there, we can get you a better splint. This is what I had here.
So Petrie, as you're really crawling up the wall, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine for the first part, But as you start getting to that part where you're upside down, that's where your leg begins to get pulled down and is kind of like really being impacted by just gravity. So give me.
If we get all right, fine. Just let me. I'll go behind him, and I'll fucking hold his leg, support it. Quit your bitching.
I'm dying.
I assume we can't easily see this, given that the thing sort of curves up, like too much of an angle for us to see him
Right.
struggling.
And Tacitus, if you want to notice that, give me a perception check.
Yeah. For an insight to hear his bitching. Perception. Where you at? I'm not very perceptive. All right. With a 10.
All right. So you don't notice this quickly enough to be able to react to it. But as you're climbing Petrie, your leg begins to hang like away from your center of mass more and it's more and more painful, especially with the weight of the stone inside your leg. And Tacitus, did you tie part of that stalagmite around his leg as a splint?
Yeah, so like the upper and lower part of his leg, I guess.
Okay. So all of that is weighing you down pretty significantly.
Slipping.
And well, no, you're not slipping because
No,
you got
no.
spider climb. You don't slip with spider climb, but it's causing you an incredibly intense amount of pain. So give me a concentration check to maintain the spider climb ability.
And if you fail, then you're slipping.
How does an 11 do?
Do you want to use an action point?
Do I need to use an action? I'll use an action point, but I don't think I'm going to get much better than an 11. Am I adding anything to this?
So it's
Constitution?
basically a constitution check
Yeah.
or constitution saving throw.
Okay, I got a 12. I'm going to stick with that. If I fall while I'm dead.
No, you're not dead, but you do fall.
Onto the spikes.
Boy.
No, you're not quite at the spikes.
We're never going to have this whole, guys.
You're not at the full height, but you do fall 20 feet, and it's increased amount of pain because of the whole leg situation. So you do take an additional 14 damage falling. You don't fall into spikes or anything because you're not there. But and then that's when Tacitus, that's when you know this. Oh crap.
Petrie's just playing dead again on top of these rocks.
Can we just leave him here?
Now, Petrie, you can reactivate the spider climb ability, but you're going to take that acid damage again.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Come here. No, go back down. Clearly, the stone is too much for you. So take it off. All right. And then I'll just hang on. I'll be moving super slow, but just hang on. Okay? Got it?
Dying. Yep.
No, you're not dying. If you fall, again, you might be dying. You don't want that. Okay? Concentrate.
Yeah.
Concentrate. Yeah?
All right.
Now let's get moving.
All right. So slowly, ever so slowly, you guys manage to finally get out of this pit. Now, Petrie, once you're actually out of the pit, you suddenly feel a wave of exhaustion come over you. So give me a constitution saving throw.
Oh, that's a 19.
All right.
Wish I had that before.
So so you're Your face goes really pale and you begin sweating, but you don't pass out.
Okay. Oh boy. So who's gonna carry me?
I will have brought him to the other side of the hall.
The side closer to the pillar with the treasure.
Where we were going, yeah.
Okay. So. Okay, you're good. Colmar, Ivar, how are you guys reacting to all of this?
When he was climbing back up the second time after falling, I would have taken my wand that I've never used yet out. So, and prepared myself so that if he falls again, I can cast web under him. Try to break his fall. But it didn't come up. I'm pretty sure I'm not carrying you, though. I can barely carry myself at this point.
So there's what, a stone splint with
I
the
took
piece.
that off.
No, I took that off.
Okay, so okay, you took it off to get it up there, and then that piece of stone in his leg.
Yeah. And it's there's slight protrusions for either side, but Tacitus was able to really kind of smooth it out with his very good use of magic and just
Moment of brilliance.
can do itness, can do it attitude.
Is there anything about the injury that looks unnatural or anything beyond just like a regular falling injury?
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, boy. With disadvantage.
Actually, you can do this one just normal.
Okay. Ooh, 5.
Do I take my backpack off
12.
and begin? God.
So you don't know fully. You do have a suspicion that there is something somewhat unexpected by this injury. Knowing that Petrie's armor is magical, and most magical armors are incredibly resistant to breakage and puncture. So you have some inkling that there's something not quite right, but you don't know exactly what it is. You just have those kind of two disconnected pieces of information.
But it is Petrie, so I'm not surprised.
Do you share that?
No.
Well, I can tell Father Stetson now I'm part rock golem. He'll be so impressed.
Tacitus, what else was down there?
Just a bunch of skulls. You know, the usual sort of horror shit that you find in places like this.
Just the skulls, nothing else?
Just skulls. So I thought for sure we'd find something down there. Something would try and fucking eat us, but no.
So when I look down there, I can tell that there are skulls lined up now that he's mentioned it, or
No, not from your perspective. You actually need to start climbing down the sea.
how
And
far?
also now that Petrie's sword is up here and shining all of his bright light, that area is a bit darker, and so the limits of your dark vision are going to be tested. Try to climb down.
All right.
But you could send your will-o'-the-wisps down to light the way for you.
Yeah.
Can those things talk? What's down there?
Yeah, I guess I could ask them to go down to the bottom and light it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I asked them to go down to the bottom, light the cavern floor.
Okay. So they're kind of floating around the floor, and then I assume you start climbing down to check out the skulls.
Not inclined to climb down. I'm trying to look to see from this distance if I can notice anything about the skulls. If I have to climb, I guess I would climb a little bit until I got a perspective.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, to get this perspective, you'd need to basically climb down until you can just kind of peek your head into the room, basically, because it is like a 10-foot chimney,
Right.
and then that's when it starts opening up. So you need to get pretty close to that edge there to see beyond the edge.
Okay. So is that a climb? Is that athletics or acrobatics with the spider climb, or just happens?
No, it just is.
So I'll climb down there till I get to that vantage point and then look to see what
Okay.
it looks like.
So you see a number of skulls. You see most of them are humanoid. One of them is that of a giant and as large as Tacitus. Well, as tall as Tacitus is tall. Tacitus, you're over 6 feet, right?
I'm 5'10".
Okay, so you're just short.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. 1 second. My wife is calling.
No problem. So, for splint purposes, I have arrows. I have a gnomish hooked hammer. And that's, I might be able to make a metal brace, but that's going to take time.
We could always amputate.
That's true. We were discussing, why don't we just cut the leg off and let it die, and then he can reanimate it, and we'll graft it back on.
Well, I'd have like a big hole in my suit then. In my armor suit. I can't do that.
Oh, that's true. We can't take his armor off, so I guess we can't amputate.
It'd just be a lot harder.
Right. I was going to say, had you told me that fact, I was going to point out that the only things that can make it through the magic armor are magical stalagmites and my chisel.
Yeah, I think basically what I'm going to do is either hopefully get investigation or nature or something to see if there's any kind of pattern to these skulls or what would put them in such a order or something.
I mean, they might be disturbed now that we've been through.
Yeah.
And Petrie fell on some.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
So what is it that you guys are all discussing?
Removing Petrie's leg.
And how we can't because it's encased in magic armor that we can't take off. And how the only thing that can get through the magic armor are the magic stalagmites and my chisel.
So I'd like to try to figure out if these skulls are in some kind of order or what may have put them or in that order or leaves them like that, either nature or investigation or something.
So if you wanted to do that, you would need to get a bit closer.
And then you're going to touch it. And then you're going to fall down the next pit.
Okay, so I'll go a little bit closer to until I can do that.
I just like kind of call down. I really think we should be leaving.
Don't fall. It hurts.
Okay. So you go down, you begin examining the skulls. Give me a investigation check.
With disadvantage, right?
Yeah, now you're but back to the disadvantage.
Okay. Not bad. 24.
Ooh. So in terms of what might have placed these things here, you don't have a clue. There's no residual flesh or any marks on the floor or anything that might suggest anything of that nature. You do notice that for some of the skulls, some of them have the jaws missing. Not all of them, though. And you do know that there appear to be, in some of the skulls, what appears to be a very, very small, almost imperceptible borehole, which appears very surgical in each and every instance. And then within the giant skull, you notice within it there's a slight, especially as one of your wills of the wisp pass by, you notice a slight glitter or shine within.
Like shine, like something is in there, shine, or just the way the light hits the inside
Just
of
the
the
way
skull?
Just the way the light hit. There's something somewhat reflective in there. I like Brendan's face.
So does that require me to go across these stalagmites?
You're gonna touch it.
No, because the stalagmites are all concentrated in the area directly beneath the like chimney entrance.
Okay.
So the rest of the floor is smooth stone and precisely worked as well. So being a dwarf, you know that everything about this room, other than the skulls, is meticulously crafted purposefully to be what it is.
Okay.
All of the stalagmites are identically symmetrical, and smoothly hewn, and in a and purposely placed to try and maximize what you would assume to be catching the points in any kind of creature that might fall.
Okay. Well, I will then go over to the giant or the big skull and see if I can get closer to see what it is.
There's some kind of rune. It's carved into the skull, but there's also, it seems, some kind of reflective paint or dye. That is also kind of combined with the carving to create a strange rune.
So I guess that would take Arcana check or something to see if I know what it is.
You could do an Arcana check.
Oh boy. 12.
It's not any kind of language or rune or structure that you directly recognize. But you do know that particular, you have seen that particular dye or paint, and it is typically used to help bind magical energy.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to make my way back out, and I'll see. I'm going to. There's one of the skulls that have like the borehole in it.
Uh-huh.
One that's not too big, and pick one up and take it with me.
Okay.
And you die.
It explodes. It's a skull bomb. No.
I have exploding frogs in my game. It's fine.
Oh, you too.
Oh, so does Peter.
Oh, you too have that book.
Yes.
And my character figured out that if you throw the tadpoles, they work like snaps.
That's great.
All right, so make my way up, back up with the skull. If there's no incident, then get to the top. I will tell them that, I picked up a skull, and there's some kind of rune on the giant skull that I didn't recognize, but it's painted in some kind of magic paint that binds magical energy, something.
Well, that's a mystery we're going to have to leave behind. Let's go. Do we want to try to make a splint for Petrie? He's going to be a very long crawl for him to get out of here, whatever we do.
Yeah, he needs something that can help him support his weight.
Right, and he can basically just hand crawl across the ceiling. Spider climbing.
There could be pits up there as well.
There you go. You'll probably be safe from pits.
Those pits are reverse gravity pits, so it'll be stuck.
Maybe you'll find the way out.
Well, could my squire carry me? And I look over at Elmore like,
Elmorn's in mallet space.
damn it, Elmore.
He's been gone. Otto's been gone for so long. He might just still be at the Handsome Mansion.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
You know, he might have been like, "Hey guys, I'm sorry, but I just got to celebrate knowing my daughter is A-okay." And
missing an eye, but fine.
Yeah, he's just drunk on chocolate milk from his new Hospitalis cow.
Well,
technically, there were not enough green dung grind doses to also get Elmore, where here. I mean, I could, if we took like an hour, I could give you my cloak, and you could then fly using that. But I don't have any green dung dye left, so I can't climb like a spider. So flying is my way of getting around, as long as I can stay far away from you and your light.
Yeah. And with the way this place has been so far, we definitely need methods for moving upwards. Plus, one would assume that the surface is up as well, so I know in our luck we gotta find a way fucking to climb straight up instead of nice easy steps. So
if we took some time, I could probably fashion some kind of metal brace for his leg to serve like a splint. But that's going to take a good bit of time. We could more quickly splint a bunch of my arrows to his leg.
What about? Do we have our tents with us?
I never had a tent, but
Yours got sucked in the water sinkhole.
Did mine? I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, that and a whole bunch of shit that you had.
I deleted a few things from my fucking inventory, but I did not get rid of my tent. Like half my rations.
Still got that mask, right?
I got like a pan left. One pan from my mess kit.
I think I wrote it down somewhere, but yeah, you use the action point to keep the mask. So
Yeah.
you definitely have the mask still. Maybe you can use the mask to help split the leg.
No.
There aren't any cats down here. What's the point?
Although, from what I understand, I might actually be able to learn the ability to manipulate flesh with this thing. Stitch it back together, just painfully.
so there's an option. Just put the mask on and see.
No.
All right. So what? So yeah, I'm pretty sure that you lost your tent. But outside of Ivar, your arrows, do you guys have any other items that you're willing to utilize to help build a splint or some kind of crutch or something?
Anybody else have a tent?
I do not.
I bet fucking Martha does.
Yeah, I'm pretty big, but also in mallet space.
Yeah. We could use the fucking tent poles for a splint.
Let me check his dice cloud. If he has it, I'll allow you guys to use it.
It's like, hey, Martha, we're gonna borrow your tent. You're just gonna have a tarp left.
I do have multiple vials of acid. We could probably grind down a little bit more of that stone.
Ooh. No.
What would be handy, maybe, eventually. Yeah,
Oh, I forgot my dark reader is on. That's why I can't see any text cloud.
Could help weight wise if we can hollow that stone out.
There you go. We just have to drip it on there slowly and let it eat through.
Might make it a little more brittle though, so it might not be a good idea.
All right, Martha does have a 2-person tent.
Yeah, perfect. Use the tent poles and stuff.
All right, so who's going to be doing that?
I will.
Unless it's a medicine. I'm pretty good at medicine. Perhaps I can assist or something.
Yeah, medicine would probably be the preferable check, although
I'm really good with my tinker's tools. I have advantage because I have a feat.
Okay. With direction from Tacitus on the specs, you could use your Tinker's Tools proficiency.
Okay. What's ability score do you want me to pair it with?
We're gonna go with wisdom because you're working in cooperation with Tacitus.
Okay. Another D20. That's a 22.
Okay. So the splint seems fairly effective. Petrie, you can almost put weight on it.
Oh. I might need to borrow your stick. Just give me this. Give me the quarter stuff.
What?
I can't walk. I need a walking stick.
Yeah. Just like look around to everybody else's stuff.
All my stuff is too short.
I mean, Petrie's like what, 14? He's not very tall.
I'm a big boy.
Unless he's a freak, I guess. Oh my god. I mean, it's the only thing, you know. Fine, I want it back.
Is there anything cool on your quarter stuff?
Probably not.
Okay,
Actually, he's probably a pretty plain quarterstaff.
very nice.
That's
Anyways,
probably good because you're not getting it back.
It'll get sucked down a hole and a hole and a hole.
Yeah, I had to work real hard to keep it.
So Petrie, with the quarterstaff and the splints, you can move at 10 feet. Is your movement?
Ooh, that's half as good as as our gnome friend.
I think gnomes are normally 25.
Yeah,
Mine is 20 right now because my strength lowered me, so it's fucking with my armor. Yeah.
Well, now I do the gimp limp. I'm this old man, fucking walking.
All right. So are you guys proceeding into this other room then? What are you guys
Cautiously.
doing?
Yeah. Cautiously, perhaps, Ivar, if you can announce any false floors that you might find. Could be handy.
Sure, although I walked right over that first one that Petrie fell in. They seem to be maybe key to a little more weight, packing.
Yeah, well,
You
Try
can
your
jump
best.
around. Just jump ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for you to use that jump ability from the green dung guy, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, he can do it. He can launch himself with the one leg. Landing is going to be the hard part.
just tuck and roll, man. Tuck and roll.
So yeah, I'll continue to be up the front.
So as you enter the room,
You call that
and-
chevron formation?
so yeah, what is your order other than Ivar taking the lead?
Well, I'm at the back. I'm slow.
Man, I'm the one with the good AC, so I might be next.
All right. Well, let me sneak up and make sure there's nothing in that room after all of the shouting from falling down the hole.
No,
All right.
I'll take the back with the will o' the wisps. Petrie will be in front of me.
That's true. How long is this hallway again?
It's only 30 feet, and it's about 15 feet in that trap was.
Right. And blazing sword here is probably shining light into the room beyond.
Yeah. So Ivar, as you go move ahead, what you see is another circular room. This one doesn't appear to have any other doors or entryways. But in the center of the room is this stone pillar that goes from floor to ceiling. And it is spherical, and it like everything else, the stone is like perfectly worked and even, and surrounding, because of the light surrounding the pillar, there are a number of chests, some of them with golden inlay. Then there's also a rack of vials and glass bottles with different colored liquids. Some of them seem to shimmer. And then several pieces of armor or weapons. Some bags where you can see some coins kind of within, though they're mostly cinched. You do see like the sparkle of what you assume to be coins from the light. All of this encompassed by this invisible wall of force.
Right. So I will go back and say, well, the bad news is it's a dead end. The good news is if we want, there seems like there's treasure in there. The bad news is the treasure is probably all trapped and it's hidden behind a some sort of force wall.
Hmm.
And the other bad news is, unless there's a secret door, we're going to have to go back out the way we came in.
Well, let's try our best then. See what happens.
There is a column. Maybe there's a way, some magic about the column we could use. But I didn't see anything dangerous.
All right. Well, then I'll go ahead and start creeping forward.
Forward towards what?
Towards the room.
That room.
Okay. So as you get closer to the room, you see exactly what I described when Ivar went in.
All right. So God damn it, he's got my quarterstaff. Son of a bitch. I was using that to check for fucking holes.
We must have part of a tent pole left.
He's trying to look all cool with his stuff, and he's like blowing. So he's like, "Yeah, this is great. I look cool."
As you wince with each fucking step.
You're using the staff as a walking stick, but still holding the glowing sword.
Yeah.
So actually, you can't do that, Petrie. You need two hands to hold onto the quarterstaff.
Oh man.
So either you're just kind of, you got it hanging from your waist, still out and shining, or it's in its scabbard. And although you can see a bit of the light from within there, it doesn't shine in the way that would illuminate a room.
Hmm.
Well,
So what does it look like?
What does what look like?
So is it, when you say you put it away, is it just kind of cinched to your belt and still out?
No, it's in the scabbard, and like you just see like this like small light sort of coming out from it, like as if I've got the light still on it.
Okay. So once that happens, you guys are completely immersed in darkness once more. Anybody with dark vision
Still
is
the will of the
able.
wisps. Unless
So
they
the
stay
will,
down there.
right? So the will of the wisps, they can create some dim light. So they do provide that, which does provide you with some color perception, but your perception checks will still be at disadvantage.
What if I
because
cast
of
the light
conditions.
spell on the star?
You can do that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
So it says 20 bright and 20 dim
Mm-hmm.
instead of a stupid amount on the sword.
Yeah, much more reasonable brightness of light. Much more tolerable to the eyes.
So I guess we should, unless you know a way through this wall of force, and I will walk up and knock. I guess we should fan out and see, look to see if we can find either a secret door or secret hidden lever, something.
Let us search before I go using spells.
So I'm going to start searching the walls.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll look as well.
Investigation check.
All right.
Oh, you know what? I could do, yeah, you know what? I'll take out a dagger and cast light on it.
Petrie has light cast on your quarterstaff.
Oh, did he? All right.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
You know, I'm going to use my magnifying glass. And I got a 26.
Okay.
Shall I roll as well?
Where are you looking?
I'll look around the column, and I could probably also perhaps see, trace potential arcane ley lines in this wall. In the
Do you want to use
Fourth wall?
detect magic for that?
No.
Okay. So then you wouldn't be able to see any kind of magical energies.
I could sense stuff.
I mean,
That's
sure.
That's how it works
but
with the sphere of annihilation.
You don't have a sphere of annihilation last I checked.
Oh, I wish that you did. We could just make a tunnel right to the surface and be out of here.
I know. It would be narrow, but yeah.
I mean, without detect magic, any kind of magical sensation would be akin to the sensation of feeling the static electricity from a balloon as you're rubbing it on your skin.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be able to get much information from that.
I don't want to cast it because I've got invisibility going right now, and I'd rather not. This is not a time to be trying to do dual concentration because that fucks with me. So
Wait. So you were invisible the whole time you were helping Petrie?
no, I'm not invisible. Ivar is.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which I'm fine with because while I'm concentrating on spells, it boosts my AC. So these long duration spells, I'm okay with.
Although, how long did it take for Petrie to get out? I feel like I've been invisible for a while. It may have been an hour.
No, not an hour. It has probably been about 30 minutes or so, though. So you're probably about halfway there.
Okay, actually, I just realized I don't know if my invisible magnifying glass actually helps me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that means I got a 20.
dynamics of light don't
Right.
work with that.
So that means I got a 22 instead of a 26.
I mean, technically, if you want to get into it, being invisible, you would be blind anyways, because any kind of light detecting retina, it would
Magic.
just pass through it. So, I mean, let's
feel like
not
they
go
would-
down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Let's just say that your magnifying glass works.
little pinholes where the eyes are, so there's like floating black dots.
Um,
Yeah. No.
So Ivar, you meticulously scan the walls, every single inch of them, but you don't find anything outside of, just perfectly smooth stone.
Okay.
And then Tacitus, if you want to use an action point, I'll let you cast detect magic without concentration.
Okay, I'll do that, but I want to do it as a ritual, so I don't have to
Okay.
use a spell slot.
That's fine.
Give me 10 minutes.
So Ivar will only have 20 more minutes left in his invisibility.
It's a lifetime. Could be. We'll see.
So Tacitus, you notice a couple of things. For one, you see the outline of this wall of force, and it does go from floor to ceiling in kind of semi-spherical sort of dimension. But this wall of force seems to be weaker than most, in that oftentimes walls of force are immune to dispel.
Right.
This one seems as if it could potentially be affected by dispel magic.
All right.
And then also give me an investigation check.
Oh, 8.
Okay. So outside of that, you don't notice anything around the pillar, but you're kind of with your detect magic on, it's kind of blocking some of your line of sight to some of those things.
Yeah.
Since you're trying to see through the magic of the wall of force.
Alrighty then. So I just turn to the last place I heard Ivar speak and say, I guess I can get rid of it. Give me a second. And then I will cast Dispel Magic.
Okay. You mean cast your check?
That's not what I was looking. I wasn't wanting to hear that. You said I could get rid of a Dispel.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's a 3rd level spell. Unless you want to upcast it.
Yeah, I mean, I was already considering doing it at 4th level, but
You got a sense that 4th level would probably be the sweet spot.
yeah, that was my sweet spot too. So that way I've got 1 spell slot from each level taken. Just trying to keep it even, basically. 4th level, Dispel.
Okay. The wall of force disappears.
Alrighty. Anything else magical in this room?
There's a lot of magic radiate now that the wall of force is gone and no longer blocking a line of sight. You do see that there are some fairly strong magical auras coming from the pillar and the items surrounding the pillar.
What was around the pillar again?
A couple of chests, at least one of them inlaid with gold. A couple of pouches, one of them seeming to have something shiny and glittery within. a rack with a number of vials and glass bottles full of various colored liquids. Some of them seeming to slightly faintly sparkle with their own internal light. A couple of pieces of arms and armaments.
I'll just point to the column and say, it's a whole lot of magic coming from there. All that stuff there.
Well, I would suggest that maybe we not poke at the treasure and see what it's going to do to us just yet. Maybe investigate the column first.
Does the column itself appear to have any magical properties?
Yep.
Can I tell what school?
You can give me an Arcana check.
You mean that's not part of the spell that I cast?
Okay. Read the spell description for detect magic.
You sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any.
Okay.
Foot of stone, inch of metal, thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt will block the aura.
Okay. So you see faint auras coming off of the chests. They are probably fairly faint because whatever might be magical is probably within the chests.
Mm.
And those seem to radiate with abjuration and transmutation. The column itself seems to radiate with transmutation and illusory magic. And then some of the armors seem to radiate enchantment. And the potions are a number of different schools.
Right.
Most specifically, necromancy and conjuration. I should also point out that in the way that I conceive of magic, healing magic is considered necromancy, not conjuration. So the presence of necromantic energies is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, cure wounds is usually evocation, but
Oh yeah. I don't agree with that assessment.
well, you're wrong. No. Well, and as far as I could tell, to the best of my abilities, there's nothing that seems to be like magical traps. Perhaps, I mean, I know
Do
there was that
you
bit of
share this
concentrate.
information with us?
Yeah, and start telling you, a lot of this stuff is enchanted. Try and concentrate on the there was a little bit of abjuration, right? On the chests.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like concentrate on that, I guess, just to see. Maybe I can, I don't know, glean some insight as to the nature.
Well, the good news is,
if I try and open it, is it going to try and fuck us up?
well, if the magic is inside the chest, then the chest is less likely to be a mimic. So there's that.
The mimic has eaten something,
Right.
so
I'm not sure that is information you could glean just from detect magic.
Alrighty. Then you want to like. Well, I might be able to do it too. Perhaps stick something to those those chests. Make sure they aren't alive. I could throw a dagger at it or something, but
Whack him with a tent pole.
I'd rather, if they are alive, do a little bit of damage to it.
So I'm just picturing your characters, traumatized as you guys are, having just dropped this wall of force, all of you just kind of standing around this pillar, not moving in, and just kind of like throwing shit at the guy.
Is it dead?
I mean, I would at least look at the armor and the potions. What types of armor are they?
It seems like shirt, maybe chain, and a couple of pieces of plate armor. Nothing necessarily complete, but like maybe a gauntlet or maybe the arm of breastplate. Now, but are you just looking at it from afar, or are you actually trying to interact with these things?
I mean, once the wall was down, I would have gone up. I wouldn't have like been picking things up, but next to them, standing next to them to see what they look like.
Yeah.
Mind you, Petrie would be very hesitant of this room and be sitting in the tunnel.
So when Ivar approached these items, did anybody else?
No, I think Tacitus was seriously debating throwing a dagger at the chests because there's two of them.
There's like three, probably.
Okay.
There's like two and one stacked on top of those two.
Perfect. I have 3 daggers.
And then Colmar, what are you doing?
I take out the skull and pause, and I don't hear anything. And then I look at the borehole and look in the room and see if there's anything that would have made that hole. That's maybe like hanging about or on a table or something.
Give me a investigation check.
Come on. 17.
No, nothing that you can see. There's no surgical influence there, and nothing that immediately strikes you as magical in a way that might create something similar.
Okay. If I ask the skull, does it tell me?
Can you cast? Do you have Speak with Dead prepared? Is that what you're doing?
No, I don't have it prepared. I'm just asking it.
Oh, okay. No, it's just kind of silent, staring back at you.
Okay. Well, there's always chance.
One of the wills of the wisp kind of shoot into it from below and make it seem like it's glowing, and you didn't see the will of the wisp go in, and then it just kind of flies out the eye socket. So you got excited for a moment. You're like, yes! And then the will of the wisp shattered your dream.
I throw a dagger at one of these chests.
All right.
The sides of the chests. Let me confirm that. Are we trunk chests or like small jewelry chests?
No, they're pretty hardy chests.
All right.
So
I pick one randomly, throw a dagger at it.
It clunks into the side of one of the chests and it's sticking out like a dagger would expect it to stick out from wood.
Sure.
So after you throw that dagger is when Ivar approaches, and unfortunately his luck has run out with the pressure plates. He does trigger one, and from that pressure plate, the wall of force immediately returns, trapping him within. And then a mouth forms in the stone column and begins speaking. And despite having this wall of force in between you and the mouth, everybody can hear it equally well, what this mouth says.
Oh dear. It seems my enemies have found a way into my home. I don't know how you managed to find your way into my domestic, all the way in my own personal pocket dimension, nor how you managed to bypass the dimensional anchors. But it does not matter. Once I awaken, you will be added to my collection of undead souls. Your will cleaved from your essence to make you my perfect little minions. And then I will strip your flesh and boil your bones in a delicious stew. Even while seeking the secrets of the children of Zoriat and my vast collection of armaments, your greed has gotten the better of you. I will not be assassinated by the worthless, insignificant, inconsequential, finite creatures of Eberron. In comparison to my intellect and cunning, you are but a amoeba. Who can see into multiple realities and all the dimensions of space and time, know all that you wish to hide. No secret is safe from my purview. I have planned for every contingency. There is no escape and no hope for you. Kill yourselves now and save yourselves from your fate of torture so complete that only moments will feel like an eternity, and even beyond your last breath that you experience will linger, forcing you into an experience forever between life and oblivion, where you will rot and your mind will cave in upon itself like a dying star collapsing in upon itself to create a black hole that will last until the final protons and neutrons decay and the universe is naught but a cold, endless void of perfect entropy. Do not defy this commander by all that you hold dear. Every one of your kind will know a fate so terrible and final that your ancestors from beyond the veil of life will weep for conceiving the gametes that would eventually churn out the biological material from which you eventually and pitifully formed.
He may be able to like see into multiple realities, but he actually got it wrong. Ivar doesn't think we need any of this shit. He is not greedy at all. He was just Ivar was thinking, all right, we touch this pillar and then we're back on the surface again. It'll be like a teleportation thing. And while he was there, he was just sort of curious, like what was sitting like right out in the open, as opposed to stuffed in chests. Like I certainly he assumed, and I assumed going into it that none of this armor is going to be like gnome sized. Like I can't use it. So I take it we're not going to kill ourselves, though.
Well, once Peter returns, I'm going to just read it in a normal voice so that everybody can get and everybody on the channel who might be watching, which I'm sure is 0 people, but
Hey, we might go back and rewatch it. So.
Oh yeah. Fair. All right, Peter, you ready?
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna send you guys a transcript, but I'm gonna just read it real quick in a normal voice. Oh dear, it seems my enemies have found a way into my home. I don't know how you managed to find your way into my Demesna, all the way in my own personal demiplane, nor how you managed to bypass the dimensional anchors. But it does not matter. Once I awaken, you will be added to my collection of undead souls. Your will cleaved from your essence to make you my perfect little minions. And then I will strip your flesh and boil your bones in a delicious stew. Even while seeking the secrets of the children of Zoriat and my vast collection of armaments, your greed has gotten the better of you. I will not be assassinated by the worthless, insignificant, inconsequential, finite creatures of Eberron. In comparison to my intellect and cunning, you are but amoeba. I, who can see into multiple realities in all the dimensions of space and time, know all you wish to hide. No secret is safe from my purview. I have planned for every contingency. There is no escape and no hope for you. Kill yourselves now and save yourselves from your fate of a torture so complete that only moments will feel like an eternity. And even beyond your last breath, that you will linger, forcing you into an existence forever between life and oblivion, where you will rot and your mind will cave in upon itself like a dying star, collapsing create a black hole that will last until the final protons and neutrons decay and the universe is naught but a cold and endless void of perfect entropy. Do not defy this command, or by all that you hold dear, every one of your kind will know a fate so terrible and final that your ancestors from beyond the veil of life will weep for conceiving the gametes that would eventually churn out the biological material from which you eventually and pitifully formed. Ah!
I think he dropped something on his foot, like at the end there.
Maybe he fell down one of the pits.
So I forgot to mention when the force wall went up and Ivar stepped on the pressure plate, a hole appeared in one of the walls, seemingly magically, as it seemed like the wall just kind of molded in, revealing a hallway. And there does appear to have been there appears to be some kind of gas emerging from that hole. And it is like a tunnel, like you could walk through it, but there's also like a vapor that is beginning to pour into this room.
But it's not. Is it going through the force shield?
No.
So I'm safe. Which is ironic because I'm the one who has an air elemental trapped inside a pressure vessel.
Oh, that sucks.
Just like looking around as all this shit happens, like, God, that guy talked forever.
The whole room is filled with the gas by the time he's done.
So you guys have a moment to react before, the gas concentration increases to the point where it might or might not do something to you. It definitely does not smell good.
So just to confirm then, the gas is coming into which portion?
So it's coming into this room from the tunnel that just seemed to magically open from the wall.
the wall on the other side? So, like, which side of the magic wall?
Oh, okay. So,
Because we're split up, right?
well, okay.
Yeah, we're
So
all over the
this
place.
this room is kind of spherical, right? You have the tunnel on this side. You have the pillar in the middle, and the wall of force encompassed the pillar. So Ivar is now within that kind of spherical dome that goes wall to ceiling around the pillar. And then on the opposite side, where you guys emerged from the first tunnel, is where the other one has opened, and this gassy mist is beginning to creep in and fill the air. And it's also thick enough that it's beginning to obscure vision as well.
Well,
All right.
Ivar figures, I don't know what you guys are going to do, but since I'm as screwed as I'm going to get, guess I'm going to open the chest. Maybe there's like a magic item in there that'll get me the hell out of here.
Grab
I
my
can't-
dagger.
I can't dispel magic walls of force.
Petrie like looks around and he like looks at Tacitus and says, "What kind of magic is that?" And he's like pointing at the gas.
Bad kind.
No, tell me what kind.
I mean, what do you mean? Some sort of noxious gas, most likely. Conjuration sorts.
He starts like gimp limping over towards the three of you, and he's like, "All right, well, here goes." And he like does a quick prayer, and he casts aura of life on everyone inside the radius with it.
It's what now?
An aura of life.
Okay.
It has resistance to necrotic damage, and hit point maximum can't be reduced. In addition, a non-hostile living creature regains 1 hit point when it starts its turn in the aura with 0 hit points. So if it is necrotic, we're safe.
Only
Sort of
moderately.
So Petrie, you've so far have used Channel Divinity, your lay on hands,
Yep.
and then what level spell slot is this?
This is 4th. I haven't used any other spells. I've been pretty
Yeah.
conservative.
Okay. This pen sucks. All right. So with this aura of life, you have resistance to necrotic damage. You said.
And if we get knocked, our hit point maximum can't be reduced. And if we go down, we get 1 hit point if they're in the aura.
All right, so is this like a constant aura that's coming off of you that you have to be
Yeah,
near you to
it
get it?
surrounds me. Yeah.
All right.
Is it concentration?
No.
Yeah, it is. Or
Oh, it
like
is?
this.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
sorry. Yeah, it is. Yep. You're right. It lasts up to 10 minutes. Yeah, it's concentration.
Also, I'd like to point out that Ivar is also invisible within the dome.
see
just
shit.
wanted to remind everybody.
But you did see the
Um,
chest open up,
Yeah.
and I would pick up Tacitus's dagger.
So inside the chest, Ivar, you see lots and lots and lots of bloody clothing. Each chest seems to just be containing bloody clothing.
Well, it doesn't seem like that's going to get me out of here. So apparently, it was just laundry.
I'll look to Colmar and just ask, do you happen to have any dispelling abilities as well, by chance?
Yes. What color is the gas?
Green.
Okay. Is it reached us yet?
No, each of you are going to get one action that you can do prior to it reaching you. So Petrie used his.
Okay. Can I use some kind of investigation or something to see if I can determine what this gas is?
Let's see. What skill would that be?
He did
I would
say he was
say-
gonna.
Survival, maybe?
Yeah, I would say either nature or survival.
Well, we'll take it nature.
It's like
He-
alchemy
He
or something
did
like that.
say he was going to put us in a stew, so it may be like some kind of mustard gas or pepper spray.
Okay. Yeah, that's with disadvantage. That's a natural one. It's
Okay. You're pretty sure that whatever it is, that it could pretty easily be dispelled.
it's probably we probably need to take it in. It would feel better. Yes, I do have dispel. What do you want me to do?
Get rid of the force. So, well, I don't know what your spell usage is like at the moment, so trying to spread it around if possible.
I don't have. For some reason, Dice Cloud did not update all my spell slots.
You should have full casting, I believe.
Yeah, but the spell slots are only first and second, and I know I've got third and fourth level spells. So
Yeah, you've got to go into the journal tab and update your spellcasting level every time you level up.
oh,
So you add it as like if it's a new feature, class feature, and then it will automatically update them.
What level wizard are you?
7th.
And then level 3 other?
Rogue. Yeah.
Okay.
Not the arcane trickster.
Mm-mm.
7th level will be
1 4th level spell slot.
yeah.
So, Kolmar, if you wanted to cast Dispel Magic to release Ivar from the Wall of Force, you would need to either use your 1 4th level spell slot or take a risk with your 3rd level and do a spellcaster check.
Well, Ivar is pretty safe. It's not like the gas is going to get to him.
No, I'm pretty sure that is just meant to keep you there so that the gas will get to you.
I thought he's protected by the gas because he's inside the Wall of Force.
He's also got that breathing capsule thing. So if any of us are going to live, it's going to be him.
I assume they can't hear me. Like if I were to yell something.
Actually, they can.
Okay.
Okay, so it will. I guess it'll be here in one round.
I have the ability to create a bubble of air around us all for like a minute while we run.
Yeah, so I'll just help me carry Petrie, and I'll dispel at 4th level again.
Is that your last one, or
No,
okay?
I still have one more 4th level
Okay.
after
All right.
this. So
Carry, drag, push. We'll get Petrie.
Drag him by the bad leg.
he's going, ow, ow. It's like it's this or the stone drags in the ground. What do you want?
Mm-hmm. We don't
Well,
want
we
to listen
should-
to that noise.
Right? We have to at least drag him as long as the aura of life is going. That's like 10 minutes.
All right, so Tacitus, you used your Dispel Magic
Yeah,
to
4th
break
level.
down the wall of force.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ivar, you're now free.
Do we want to
So
run up the new tunnel or back the way we came?
I mean, I think what's back the other way? I mean, fucking
Big room.
Nothing.
Yeah.
open cavern, fucking nothing around. So
Yeah, let's just run at him.
So, Ivar, you have an action, and Holmar, you have an action, or the gas engulfs all of you.
I'm
Okay.
going to pull out my pressure vessel and create a 10-foot bubble of air around myself that lasts for a minute. Unfortunately, we're incredibly slow.
So the gas begins to whirl around you, but you notice that it also reveals, because the gas was quite thick and obscuring visibility, slowly you see more shadows coming at you guys.
Yay.
I think Mike's just trying to end the campaign right here. He's like, I'm done with these fucking guys.
I just want to, I feel like you guys breeze through everything I throw at you. So now I'm just enjoying knowing that I've got you by the short hairs.
So what's Colmar's one action?
I don't think there's been one thing we've breezed through since I've joined. It's been constant harassment.
Everything's been an accident.
Mike has been bitter since the Warforged Titan.
Let's get moving on.
So I see. So we see the shadows. I take it in the gas.
Yeah, you see the shadows.
Okay. How close is the gas to us?
You with Ivar there, you guys have a 10-foot radius of clarity.
So, like, is it like right up on my face or like 10 feet away?
It's
That-
10
I
feet
guess
away
that-
from me.
Yeah,
So-
so I guess that depends on where you're standing in relation to Ivar.
Okay. So I say huddle up next to Ivar, and I'm going to use. Let's see. This may not even work, but we'll try. I'm going to use Firebolt and see if I can ignite the gas.
I thought about that. Like, I feel like it's a bit close, but whatever.
He's attacking the darkness, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Holmar, we're gonna roll a percentile here.
Okay. Am I at disadvantage?
So no, not for the percentile. So let me first consider and write down the possible
Oh
outcomes.
God. No suggestions from somebody either.
This is pretty much how Breaker became half undead.
Yes.
All right. I've written down the possible outcomes. Roll the percentile.
Here we go. I'm not looking. 58.
That was the best possible outcome. So I wrote 0 to 50, no explosion. 76 to 100, it ignites explosively. But in the sweet spot that you rolled, 51 to 75, ignites napalm-like.
Love the smell of napalm in the morning.
So all around you, just beyond this bubble of safety that Ivar has created, the air suddenly fills with an intense heat as Colmar's firebolt ignites the gas in a way that it sticks to whatever, it clings to whatever is in contact with the gas. And you can hear the shadows kind of just beyond, within the gas, do an ephemeral and kind of disturbing mournful screech as many of them are destroyed by this cleansing fire. And the fire rolls down the hallway and beyond into the distance. Two of the shadows still survive, but Colmar, with your sense of and connection to the undead, you know that many were destroyed or dispersed by this fire. Yeah.
I'll just look at everybody and say, just how I planned.
Ivar says, "Holy fuck! I did not expect that to work."
So there are still two shadows, and so that will be initiative.
Disadvantage.
Ugh.
Nice.
Damn.
We got an 11.
As did I.
Good at 2.
With disadvantage, natural 20.
Nice.
Wow, 2 20s. Damn.
All right.
That's the most attention I'm getting tonight. Did she get it through?
Yeah, she did. All right. Sorry, I'm bringing up the shadows. All right, so Colmar, you got a natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11.
Okay.
All right, so shadows are going, and then everybody else, it sounds like.
I don't.
Colmar got a natural 20.
Yeah, so Colmar, shadows, and then everyone else. Shadows got a 13, so everybody got lower than 13.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so Ivar, Tacitus, and Petrie, you guys can decide amongst yourselves who goes when in the order. So, Colmar,
Mm-hmm.
you're up. Shadows on deck. Ivar, Petrie, Tacitus in the hole.
All right, I'll just firebolt one of these guys. Another natural 20. Damn.
Ooh.
That's 3
Roll
in
it
a
again to confirm.
Time to go to the casino.
row. 18 total.
That is confirmed. So go ahead and roll the percentile.
Percentile. Oh, I just had them. 37.
7. That's a dumb one. Roll it again. Target moves at half speed until magically healed. That's dumb for a
96.
shadow. Ooh, have we unlocked a secret achievement? I think we have. But so, first of all, double max damage.
So it'll be 2d10, so 40-10, so 40 fire damage.
Okay. So you immediately, well, go ahead and describe how you just destroy that thing.
I see one of them and just kind of nonchalant shoot another firebolt and just envelops it. I think some of the napalm was still on it and sort of started cut it right back on fire again. It sort of reignited.
And it instantly just vaporizes. For a 96, one ally within range can make an immediate attack against the target, but since that target is destroyed, they can make it against the other shadow. Kolmar, go ahead and pick which ally gets to make an immediate attack.
Ivar.
Dude, I wouldn't pick Ivar because Ivar's holding an 8-pound pressure vessel and it's as much as he can carry, so he doesn't have his bow out.
Okay.
Petrie's got the gammy leg.
Yeah, don't pick me either.
Process of elimination here. Let's see. I guess Tacitus. Okay.
Alrighty. I'll follow suit with my own firebolt.
Okay.
Not a natural 20, but 18.
All right, that's a hit.
Ugh. 6 fire damage.
Seriously?
She did not like your damage.
Yeah.
Yes. Only 6.
Neither did I. A 4 and a 2.
So that wasn't me or anybody. That was Lord Baelish bursting in on Lisa in the bathroom. Just knocked down the door. It's like, this is my space.
Why even bother closing it?
Ivar is considering putting wheels on this pressure vessel.
All right, so Ivar or Tacitus, you did that damage to the shadow. Unlike Kolmar's direct hit that seemed to be just blazoned with supernatural fury, yours is just more of a glancing blow off its shoulder.
Yeah, I'm supporting Petrie here.
Yeah, so it comes after you since you hit him.
Sure.
And so where's my dice? There. 15.
Nope.
Okay. So it moves towards you and it misses. Ivar, Tacitus, Petrie.
Well, Ivar is just going to put the pressure vessel down and draw his bow. Then he'll spend an action point to actually get another action, and he's going to shoot 2 arrows at the shadow.
It will reveal you.
Oh, that's true. Well, probably going to wear off soon anyway.
Well, yeah, you only got like 5 minutes left on it.
Yeah,
Anyways.
that's 30 at a 28.
Is one of those a critical?
No, neither of them.
Jesus.
Wow.
Plus 12 to hit.
Yeah, both of those hit.
First one is 9 points of damage. It's magical. And the next one is 14 points of damage. It's magical.
All right, so go ahead and describe the way that the shadow bites it.
So after hefting this thing to the ground and really even sort of struggling to pull the bow off of him, he pulls back and fires 2 of these arrows that are made from the stuff of Zoriat. And the shadow winds up getting hit by both of them, rattles a bit, and explodes backwards in just streaks of darkness. And then fades away.
Nice. All right, so now at this point, there are no more shadows that you can see. And you have this thick green vapor that at this point is completely surrounding you within this sphere of wind that Ivar has conjured.
Alrighty. So it didn't all go away when he ignited it?
Oh, shoot. It did go away, yeah. Sorry. So the gas, the mist is gone, actually. Thank you for reminding me. Everything that had touched it is severely burned and smoking. Charred really badly. Yeah.
Well, that's not my concern, so let's get moving, yeah?
Yeah. Although I have to say, I really didn't give a shit about the treasure until I got trapped in the wall of force. Now I'm wondering if we should just tent pole some of that stuff out just to say fuck you to that guy.
You want to light it on fire, or
That would be good too. Light the bloody clothes on fire.
I'm going to hit it with a firebolt.
Also, one last thing that I forgot to mention as the Magic Mouth message was taking place, each of you had in your mind this concept form that you intuitively knew was the name of the speaker, which is Zalshax.
Who the hell named these people?
Oh, shucks.
Zalshox.
Well, I mean, there is also the concern that we, if you believe the Magic Mouth, are in a demi-plane, which means going up might not get us out.
Well, going forward might, so.
I do know a spell which could send us anywhere other than this plane.
Yeah, can you do all of us at once?
I read in Cleric's Weekly that if I use enough action points, I could.
Are we talking banishment here?
Yes.
Yeah, the moment that came up, I thought about that. I'm like, how the fuck are we supposed to get all of us to be banished like that? There's no way he has enough spell slots.
Do you really want to risk the randomness of where you might end up?
We could end up in one of the 9 hells. We could end up.
That's not how it works.
We could end up anywhere.
You don't know that.
Vanishment
end up
sends you
next
back
to
to the
the
plane you come from.
Yeah, but
We
Tess
don't need anywhere there.
wouldn't necessarily know that.
I mean, we could end up in the middle of fucking Drome again, which, whatever.
It's just like, yeah. Yeah,
As
we
long-
could end up.
That fucking, Grey Wall? Is that city?
We could show up in the middle of like the ice rain or something. Or was it the glass rain?
I'm still not unconvinced that wasn't a separate plane as well, so.
And seems to me we might as well see what's up this corridor first.
Before more gas
Right.
starts leaking through. Let's get moving.
Right.
Perhaps.
And who knows? Maybe you'll banish us to a place where we can at least rest.
Or I just send us to a harmless demi-plane for a couple seconds.
Doesn't quite work out.
So I put my bow away and I heft up this thing again and start moving. Trying to keep pace with all these slowpokes.
It sounds like you can put away the air bit at least for now.
That lasts a minute anyway.
Yeah. I mean, can you like stopper it and use that minute later on?
No, I can do it one more time for another minute.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get moving then.
All right. So as you guys begin going down the tunnel, it has a slight grade downwards, and then you see an opening probably about 30 feet ahead, leading to another large drop. And it's pretty far, and you know, outside of your guys' light, it's complete darkness down there. This large tunnel, it's just within the range of your dark vision, and light source. So it's about 60 feet to the back wall, and then the entire tunnel is like spherically rounded, cylindrical. So it's got that 60-foot diameter going straight down into complete blackness. And you do feel a slight breeze coming up from there.
Does it go up as well as down, or it only goes down?
No, there is a ceiling probably. So once you get to the edge of the tunnel, it's like a sheer opening into this cavern, and the ceiling is probably about 10-20 feet up from you, but it is, you know, kind of capped. It's a pretty strange architecture here.
How do you feel about climbing, Petrie? You can, 1 foot and 2-hand it till you got out of the pit.
Well,
He got out of the pit by holding on to me.
You say you almost got out of the pit the first time before you fell tragically.
So
this
what's
pit looks a little bigger too, so
let's probably doesn't hurt to drop something down there. Do the whole count test, drop and wait till we hear something.
cast light on something and then we can drop it.
Well, I'm not trying to let everything know that we're here.
I could just drop your staff down there. It's already got light on it.
How about no?
Oh,
You're going to be walking on your own then.
yeah, that's right.
So So Tacitus, what do you drop?
One of those copper coins I got from Petrie last session.
Okay.
I got 8 from him, or I got 10 from him, and I think I tossed out 2 of them, so I'll toss
Okay.
another.
So you toss it, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you never hear it hit.
Okay.
Hey, Colmar, can you like send a will-o'-the-wisp down and then get it to tell you what's down there?
Yeah, how many of those survived? Did they all survive?
Yeah, they were all. I assume they were all flying close to you.
Trying to get their next fix.
Yeah, I mean, I can send them down there. I don't know if they can communicate with me or not.
They haven't demonstrated any ability to as of yet.
Maybe they could. Can they like turn their lights off?
Yeah, can they blink?
So you ask them that, and immediately all of them disappear.
Apparently, you offended them.
So I asked them kindly to go down and check to see if there's any danger. And then when they return, blink once for there is danger, blink twice for no danger.
That is danger to us, not to you. By the way, will-o'-the-wisp.
So they reappear, and then they blink back out, and you assume that they went down.
Okay.
Probably about 10 minutes pass before they return. And you notice that there's one less than there used to be. And what was it that you wanted? What was blink? Once for yes, 2 for no.
Once for danger, 2 for no danger.
Yep.
Okay. They blink once.
Okay. Well, there's one less, and there's something down there.
Well, I don't see that we have any options anyway, so...
Blink once if it is further than 500 feet down.
That's true. 20 questions, we can figure out exactly what's down there.
Yeah. We could do this, guys.
Hold on 1 second. Let me look something up. Okay. These things are fairly intelligent. So, Omar, you do based on, so intuitively you can kind of sense their body language, but still give me an insight check. You can do so with advantage
Okay.
to kind of understand what their body language. By the body language, I mean the way that they float around and kind of blink in and out.
With advantage, 21.
Okay. You get the sense that they don't necessarily understand this concept of feet.
Do they know the metric system?
Yeah, they know meters. It's way better.
while these things are reasonably intelligent without any kind of language necessarily, they seem to generally understand what you're telling them. But simpler concepts are more likely to yield better results.
Okay. So basically, we walk up and there's a huge hole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, a 60-foot diameter cylinder of a hole
Okay.
that goes down too far for you to see the bottom.
All right. So I walk close to it, not too close. Like any kind of hint of like some kind of vortex sucking me in or whatever. Just enough that I reach into the bag of Giant's Wrath and pick out a rock and throw it.
Ooh. I think that might be one of the first times that you've used that.
No, I used it early on.
I have no idea what it even is.
So you want to describe what happens, what the others see when you use it?
Well, they just see me open this little bag and pull out a pebble, and I just throw it in the air, and it just goes into the darkness.
So probably about 5, maybe 6 seconds later, you hear a rather loud crunch and crash.
Okay.
There's something big down there now.
The hell was that?
Colmar, do you want to explain to them what just happened, or are you just going to leave everyone guessing?
I know what happened. I remember the rock. Yeah.
So I just say the rocks turn into giant boulders. So that was probably what you heard at the bottom.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're up here. Petrie yells into the hole.
What the hell?
Hey, Petrie, you don't want to get pushed down that hole, do you? It seems to me either we start going down or we try Petrie's banishment plan and see if it works. I mean, maybe the wizards want to like throw a bunch of fireballs down there just to be sure. Nuke it for more.
I'm afraid I don't know that spell.
Scorched earth policy. Hit him.
What we could really use is a nice place to set up camp for a little while.
Well, if you don't want something wandering in on us, there's not that many places to do that. The best place I can think of is the Spike Cave. Because there's one defensible way in.
It's not really defensible if they have the high ground.
Yeah, but we can hide against the walls where the skulls are. I mean, unless the skulls can attack us, I suppose that would be a problem.
Or unless our enemy knows Fireball.
Right. But why would they expect anybody to like wait down there?
I have some methods of obscuring our presence. Yeah. Similarly used while we were in Greywall. That's the name of that city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tacitus has good memory. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, the big open room we showed up in the first place is no good. So really, it's somewhere along that corridor we came down. Or right here.
Right here.
Can I make a guesstimate of how far it's down by the noise that I heard and how long it took for the rocks to get there?
Give me intelligence check.
Seven.
I mean, this is what I was originally trying to do myself with the coin.
So you're pretty sure that it's like probably a mile. It's real deep. You're also really tired, and you recognize that you're not really good at guessing that at the moment.
Yeah. Now that I think of it, if I had thrown like some sort of cadaver or body part down there, I'd definitely know. But that rock completely threw me off.
I didn't expect to hear anything, so I wasn't counting.
Shall we make our way down or what?
That's the question. We got to bring this guy down.
Yeah, but I don't think a rest is going to make that too much easier.
Correct. I know. But it might give us a chance to re-prepare. But yeah.
Well, I'm exhausted and weakened from the original shadow attack, so it might give me a chance to recover some of my strength too.
Yeah, I did not prepare that particular spell, unfortunately. I have warding glyph, but I don't have it memorized. But I do have my private sanctum, which should it would help protect us a little bit, at least. We would not be could not be scryed upon and whatnot.
Also,
It would also obscure our area.
there are a lot of skulls down in that hole, right?
Yep.
Maybe me and Colma can have a talk with them.
Colmar did ask one a question in the last room. Nothing happened, but if you've got a different ability, perhaps?
Yes.
I mean, I have the skull with me. I took it.
That's true, yeah. But maybe the giant would have something better to say.
Why?
That's true. We would have to deal with the potential danger of whatever that glyph is in the giant. Could stay in the poison gas room. What are the odds he thinks we survived?
They might be looking for us.
Yeah, they might be. Whatever it is, this person. I forgot their name. I didn't write it down.
Zal Shocks.
Zal Shocks.
Zal.
He
We
mentioned
could go back into the treasure room, step on the pressure plate, and then hide safe inside the wall of force.
That is
But
one
it really
potential.
doesn't matter what we do because he says he's planned for every contingency. But I say he has never met this group, so he probably doesn't know that.
I think he just likes to hear himself talk. You know, this is a good tactic. Maybe if we insult him enough, he'll just show up now and we'll get this over with. I bet he's not even an actually good wizard.
Yeah, I think you'd actually need intelligence for that.
It's true. It's true.
He just uses made-up words like proton and neutron.
What did he mean by children of Zoriat?
What was the context again of that particular line?
Let's go back and listen to the whole thing again.
No need. I have it memorized. DM if you would.
So the relevant portion after he talked about making you guys into a delicious stew was that even while seeking the secrets of the children of Zoriat and his vast collection of armaments, your greed has gotten the better of you.
Mm-hmm. I think he was expecting somebody else. I think it's safe to assume that.
Well, he's seen every contingency, but he's apparently unaware that you could just fall into a hole in Drome and bypass all of his security.
Now,
It could be an old message, and he just didn't prepare for that contingency.
does
He
the
could be long dead, and that's just still here.
does the name Zal Shocks sound familiar? Ring any bells or anything? Perhaps in relation to Mordain?
Did you
Right.
Did you actually do any of the reading or research in the library at the Tower of the 12 regarding Zoriat?
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have known to do that.
Ivar did. Ivar did most of it, I think.
Do you have the keen mind ability?
I do not.
Right. Well, keen mind only allows you to recall for 30 days anyways, and it's been more than 30 days since you guys have been in the Tower of the 12. So I would make, if it were Tacitus, I would make him do an intelligence check. So Ivar, you can do an intelligence check, but you're doing it at disadvantage.
Okay. That is a 14.
Okay. You think you might have come across his name in some of the research, but you don't know the context. So it did come up in some of the Zoriat related literature, but what it might mean or where any of the lore escapes you.
The only reason why I ask is perhaps he is, he mentioned somebody. I think it would sound like he was mentioning somebody studying the secrets or the chill or some shit. I don't remember. Remember, I have the terrible memory.
Here, I'm just gonna send you guys
Perhaps.
a transcript right now.
This Mordain son of a bitch sent us here to get something for him.
Well, I hope it wasn't something inside that wall of force because we're leaving all that shit behind.
If it were the case, it would more likely be something we couldn't pass up. So if ever you're tempted to take something, I kind of like glance at Colmar. Might be best to leave it.
Well, I'm not giving him this skull.
So do we want to rest or do we want to go on? I personally am not sure we're going to find a better spot to rest, but I'm not sure we're going to survive resting.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
what you're saying is, should we go down the hole and get murdered, or murdered in our sleep?
That's right.
Cool.
We don't know what's down there. We know at the moment there's nothing right here. Did we notice any place where this poisonous gas would have come in, or whatever the gas was?
You feel the breeze coming up from that deep hole. So
Okay. Does the walls here look like they're charred? Like on the inside of this cylindrical?
oh yeah,
cylindrical
all
room?
of it, all of it.
We might be okay, actually. Looks like that conflagration went all the way down.
Give it. Not enough to kill whatever took out one of the will-o'-the-wisps.
That's true. That's true.
Well, one of them all could have killed the other.
That's true. It could have been like a jealous, like love triangle spat.
Yep. Wisp side.
Well, could we ask? Blink once if you killed one of the others.
There's no blinking. Solid lights. Peter, I got a message coming to you. Something that your character would notice.
Okay.
All right. Executive decision time. We might as well try to rest. Because we're dying here. I'm dying here. I know that much.
Indeed. If that is the decision being made, then I will start making preparations.
Well, that's my vote.
I am okay with this, but I do have some strength to continue on, but it won't last long.
Yeah, I mean, I could stand up in a fight for a while against anything but shadows. Against a single shadow, I am probably dead.
Right. That Peter.
If
Okay.
only there were an ability that, like, shoved away all undead or something. It's just...
All right, executive decision. Everyone has to vote on what we're doing.
This seems as good a place as any to rest.
Yeah. I could banish us somewhere really bad. And I'm definitely not prepared for somewhere worse than this. So I vote for sleeping.
You have something to add, Colmar? Something on your mind?
Well, if the creatures are all undead, there's possibility that they are bound here and may reform.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's kind of your bailiwick, isn't it? So, if you think they might reform, then we should probably push on, because we don't want to go rest back there and then have to fight our way through these shadows again.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Or maybe we go rest back there and then we just let Petrie banish us.
We'll be rested. All right. Well, if we're moving, let's move. Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Help.
Yeah. So how are you guys working with Petrie, or Petrie? How are you managing this?
I'm yelling help all the time.
Well, okay, I guess a question I didn't ask. Hey, Petrie, you managed to climb a little bit. Is it going to be like slow for you to climb down the bottomless mile deep pit, or impossible? Bear in mind, you may have to suffer some acid damage on your way down as you re-up the power.
Well, let's say if I do fall and there's no creatures at the bottom and I just get impaled again, I most likely could live because of this Aura of Life spell. But I don't want to do that.
But the Aura of Life's only going to last like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we've
Yeah.
already taken, like, didn't the Will-o'-the-Wisp take 10 minutes to go down and come back
Oh,
up?
shit. Yeah. Well, that was a waste of a 4th level spell slot.
No, it would have been really helpful if Colmar hadn't just nuked everything with literally nuking it.
All right, how about this? Everybody back up so that I'm not near any of your fucking light sources. And I will fly down a bit. If any of you fall, I will have my wand of web in my hand, and I will try to use it to stop you from plummeting to your deaths.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Why not just do that now? Let's just fall to the web.
Well, I mean, there's a range on it. We'd have to, like, fall, hit the web, break out of the web, fall, hit a second web, and then hope we get to the bottom before this thing runs out of charges.
I'm just saying, let's just all jump now.
Just jump, and then I'll just count to, like, it's a mile, right? So I'll count to, like, 50, and then I mean, I don't know if jumping's going to be very pleasant for Petrie anyway.
Falling might feel alright.
The
Yes.
falling is fine.
It's the sudden stop.
Yeah, it's the sudden deceleration.
Rapid, if you will. Decelerate.
Alright. Let's just climb down and hope for the best.
Fucking hell. Yeah. I don't know how long it's been since we triggered our spider climb.
Oh yeah, we're taking acid.
So I would guess that Petrie's is probably still active since he had to redo it freshly when first getting out of the spike pit. Everybody else would probably be at the end of their duration.
I am going to have to go ahead of you anyway, because this web is a 20-foot cube, so it's not going to, like, stretch across the whole.
Yeah.
I'm basically going to maybe have an opportunity to stick you guys to the wall again.
And it has to have a place to anchor, basically. So, like,
Right.
you're getting like a portion of the cylinder if it happens, if you need to use it. So, yeah. I mean, Petrie, you can hang on to me if need be.
Alright.
We're gonna. I mean, that's basically all upper body. Yeah.
We did spend some money on climbing gear.
Yeah, I'm just not sure if we brought it because we were relying on that the teleportation between the desert location and the manor. I'm figuring like once we got to the mountains, then we would go back and get our climbing gear. That's why I was unsure about the tents too, because we weren't camping out there. Yeah.
All right. So I think that this is a good stopping point. Next time we'll see what happens as you guys begin climbing down.
Maybe Marthal can spend some action points to cast Fly on everybody.
I don't think he has any spell slots left.
But he'll be like another vote for whether to rest. We can have that whole conversation again because we're going to have forgotten how we got to let's climb down.
So what were people's thoughts, comments, critiques, feedback?
There's more efficient ways of killing us.
I really enjoyed the session. I mean, a lot of it was even the parts where Ivar was kind of just standing by watching Petrie try to get free from the spikes and then get up. That was entertaining.
Yeah.
I was genuinely afraid for Ivar's life when we were going to be fighting shadows again. Because aura of life doesn't protect you from strength drain.
Yeah.
And Ivar is despairing of ever finding a way out of here because why would somebody include a way out?
He's got to go out for supplies eventually.
Not sure that he does.
This orders delivery and they just come and die there.
Even if he gets out, I'm not sure he gets out to where we want to go.
All right. Well, I mean, so basically we just need to, get a couple of levels so I can learn like teleport or something.
Yeah,
Plane shift, I guess, technically.
Right, but
I need the clerics. Clerics need to level up so they can get plane shifts.
but thing you need to consider is he mentioned something about dimensional anchors.
Has anybody seen anything remotely similar looking to an anchor?
Yes, Petrie's leg.
Yeah,
when it was pulling him off the wall.
What did people think about Zalshak's message?
I thought it was good. I do wish there was a way to sort of pump pre-recorded audio into Hangouts, but it's flavorful. It adds a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't know why we're here or how we get out, but it's more menacing now than it was before the message.
Excellent.
While Tacitus was unimpressed. Any person who has to listen to himself talk so much, unimpressed with.
So, I know I've been saying that there have been clues sprinkled all over this place about what you guys are potentially facing and what the outcome is. There are also some subtle hints in that message as well.
So far, I would say I and Ivar have seen none of the subtle clues. The best clue so far has been your 3-minute long pre-recorded message.
So I'm really excited for when you guys do discover, and then hopefully you'll be able to look back and be like, oh, yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. But you guys have to survive that long too.
Or at least our second or third characters will have to.
Yeah, that'll be a challenge to introduce our new characters after these ones die.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a whole different story arc. We're just minding our own business, and a giant fucking egg shows up in the city.
Oh. Yeah. Thanks, Petrie. All right. So, 2 weeks from today, because next week we have Kurt's game.
Yep.
That's Christmas. So obviously, and I'm pretty sure nobody's going to be available then. So are there, and then Peter, I think we're still running as planned for your Thursday game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then I would probably be available either that Wednesday or Friday. What are you guys' thoughts?
I'm still not sure what that week's going to look like for me, so I might be available or might not.
Yeah, I got a message from my army buddy saying he's coming down for that week, so I think I might be out that entire week.
Okay.
For the Christmas week?
Yeah, Christmas
Yeah.
week. Yeah. So the
So then, and then that the next Tuesday after that is the first, and I don't think anybody's going to be prepared for
Right.
that. But then also that's technically Kurt's week. So
Right.
Kurt, do you want to keep your schedule as is, or do you want to push a session back for you?
I mean, I don't think anybody's going to want to meet up on the first. The first is the same sort of problem for me. I'm a little more likely to be available that night, but I can't say 100% for sure right now.
Well, I was thinking that week though, so either that Wednesday or Friday maybe. So the
Right.
second or the fourth.
Those days I could do. You know, or you could run your game those days and we'll just go back to my game the week after. I'm fine either way.
All right. So what I'll do is I'll just craft an email with some potential game dates for next session, and then we'll just kind of touch base that way and kind of figure things out as they get closer, since I know people have plans that might not be well formed right now.
Right.
I think, yeah, I mean, I don't have much on New Year's Day. I have, we're doing another murder mystery on New Year's Eve.
Oh,
So-
nice.
Yeah, right. New Year's Eve I could not do, but
Yeah, so. I mean, New Year's Day is just the day before I go back to work. That's really all that is.
All right. All right, guys. Well, I'll send out the email. Thanks so much for playing.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
yeah, that's great.
see you later. Thanks for running.
Take care, everyone.